Hey there, I'm Tony DeCopel. This right here is The Uplift. We got a great show for you, a great cast of characters as well, among them these. A couple who did not want to become coffee shop owners, but somehow they did, and there's a powerful reason they took on the job. Also, a horse that used to be alone and crotchety, but found a new home and a whole lot of love thanks to a caring couple. And the ballet dancers who show strength on the stage and off. And a dog left abandoned and helpless ahead of a hurricane. Don't worry, his story has an uplift-worthy ending, brought to you by David Begnaud. Welcome to The Uplift, the show that lifts you up for at least the next 30 minutes, you and me as well. And we're going to begin in Missouri, where the community in Swedenborg recently had the opportunity to name an elementary school building. Now, they knew exactly who deserved that honor around there. Here's Steve Hartman.
When folks in Swedenborg, Missouri decided to name their elementary school building, everyone knew it had to be named after someone truly special.
You have your name on a building, that's huge.
It has to be someone that you just know would be right.
That makes you think of when you think of good.
Throughout history, there have been many national figures who fit that bill. Also, lots of famous Missourians who would have been great choices to celebrate and inspire. But in the end, they went with Claudine Wilson. Who is that, you ask? You wouldn't believe. Meet school custodian Claudine Wilson.
You can get her like a vacuum and she'll appreciate it because she really likes cleaning.
Yeah, she's like in the zone. She focuses.
And she's just really dedicated herself to this school.
So much so that over the past 30 years, she has taken on a busload of additional responsibilities.
Morning.
From transportation coordination.
How are you guys today?
To lunch duty, to landscaping. From facility operations to fill-in operator.
Swedenborg School, janitor speaking. Can I help you? And the next thing I know, I was leaving at 6 in the morning and getting home about 7:30 at night.
And what's your motivation for doing all that?
The kids at your heart.
That's what makes Claudine what she is.
School board president Chuck Boren.
These kids get sick. You think they go to the nurse to start with? They go to her. If they had a bad night, they go to her. I mean, and she's there for each and every one of them.
And all that is why the school board voted unanimously for the new name. And why today, there's really only one person in this whole community who remains unconvinced that Claudine deserves this honor. Claudine.
It touches your heart, but I don't think my name needs to be up on a building somewhere.
So we'll add humility to one of the reasons why you should be up there.
In America, building names often inspire greatness.
You done a good job this morning.
And Swedenborg, Missouri is no exception. They just define greatness a little differently.
Would you want to be like her?
Yeah.
That's what everybody should want to be, you know? That's what I would want to be.
Steve Hartman, on the road in Swedenborg, Missouri.
Now to a home in Modesto, California that has stood downtown for more than a century, 116 years. When the business inside faced a threat, two people ensured a piece of that community did not disappear. Here's CBS Sacramento's Nina Burns.
We don't want to be coffee shop owners. We want to be Queen Bean owners.
This house has stood in downtown Modesto for 116 years. 25 years ago, it became the Queen Bean Coffee Shop. That is, until previous owners listed it for sale after succumbing to the pandemic.
We had our own fear. This could have been a law firm. It could have been an insurance brokerage. There were other offers. We're the only ones who said, hey, we want to keep it Queen Bean.
Husband and wife Sam Pierstorff and Ruhi Sheikh weren't about to let a piece of the community disappear or be commercialized.
Folks have come in and just said, you know, I met my wife here. I bring my children here every single year so that I can show them where I met their mom.
Reopening the Queen Bean's door under their ownership just 3 weeks ago.
If Ruhi and I own this space, then it has to benefit the community.
Because for this couple, the Queen Bean is more than just a coffee shop.
Our wings have been clipped quite a lot on the way, on the journey here. So now our goal is to make sure everybody can fly.
Combining Piersdorf's nonprofit, Modesto Artists Movement to make the house a home for local performers, artists, and businesses.
This is a home for the community, and we're inviting everyone into our home to be our guests.
Aside from fresh coats of paint and new kitchen appliances, they'll keep the Queen in her royal state.
We always say that we're stewards of this place. We are just part of her history, and I know what she's capable of, and we're going to bring her back to her former glory.
Coming up, the horse that was just about to give up on living until they got a new lease on life thanks to a caring couple who dedicated their lives to rescuing animals exactly like him. Plus, we visit a place that is making recovery easier for former cancer patients, how it helps survivors thrive. That's coming up next. For many people who survive cancer, that health battle ends, but another one then begins with new scars, tight muscles, and a whole range of other issues. Susan Elizabeth Littlefield of CBS Minnesota met a pair of therapists dedicated to helping patients not just survive, but thrive.
Shoulders down, nice.
I feel so much stronger.
It may look like a casual workout, but this is serious business.
That is so tight.
Julie Miller knows pain. At 42, she found a lump.
Can you explain some of the emotions when you first got that diagnosis?
Yes, I was extremely scared. And I was extremely scared that I wouldn't live through it.
She did live through breast cancer 2 times, but it was an arduous journey, including a double mastectomy and chemo.
The medications and the surgeries and how your physical body changes, that it's really hard on your mental health.
And it was hard on her body. She survived, but with some major scars to prove it.
Well, I couldn't use my left arm at all. I couldn't hold the glass. I couldn't reach for anything. I had to learn to type with my right hand only at work. And I just was kind of told that I had to live like this.
But then she got referred to Renata at Twin Cities Orthopedics.
I think there can be the idea you're a survivor, happily ever after.
Yes.
But it's complicated.
So complicated. If you have surgery here, like I'll move my arm, see how that stretches? Well, if you had surgery there and there's stitches in there, or it's tight because of radiation, that's not going to move normally.
So she and her partner Ingrid started a dedicated breast cancer care therapy program at TCO, a program that's being well received.
I think what we hear the most is, you just gave me hope today, because I now know that you understand what I'm going through and what my road looks like, and that someone can intervene and help us out.
They sure helped Julie out.
And so now I have full range of motion.
And a full range of healing.
So how has this program changed your mental health?
Completely. Completely, 100%. Thank you.
In Bloomington.
You rock.
Thank you.
With photojournalist Ben Harper, Susan Elizabeth Littlefield, WCCO News.
We're going to take you now to Layla Rose Ranch, where a once-forgotten horse ready to give up on life got a new chance at life and went from crotchety to comforted. Here's Madison Sawyer from CBS Texas.
All right, ready? Go that way.
On any given day, you can find Catherine Hudson working with a rescue horse named Cletus at Layla Rose Ranch.
Back up.
She met Cletus during the pandemic while out on a walk in Aledo.
He was just given up, very angry, worn down looking.
At first, her husband Matthew describes Cletus didn't like the attention.
So we would come and he would turn his butt and go the other direction, like, I don't want to talk to people, I don't have anything to do with you.
But he warmed up to Catherine's love.
Every day I'd go see him, to where he was eventually running to me when he saw me coming.
They ended up buying Cletus and giving the once forgotten about horse a new chance at life.
Cletus had a really rough life, and so we were kind of the same, if that makes sense. For him and I to join together and heal each other was just an amazing experience.
An experience they now replicate with each horse rescued at Layla Rose Ranch.
I mean, it's a horse rescue, but there's a piece of which what we're doing here is more about people too. When she's saying, I want to rescue horses, she was saying, I want horses to experience this, but I also want people to experience the same thing I did.
And the volunteers that help the horses heal are healing their personal wounds too.
So horses aren't just for riding, they're also for humans. And we all need a little bit of rescue. So it's almost my piece here.
And if you put your cheek next to their cheek, it's just peace all over.
It is, it really is.
Giving horses of all sizes a second chance at finding their perfect forever home.
In the beginning, it is emotionally draining, but once I see them trust people again, and they are healed, it makes it so worth it.
Coming up, meet the ballet troupe that shows strength both on the stage and off. Plus, the story behind this abandoned dog left all alone as Hurricane Milton barreled toward Florida. His uplifting tale coming up.
That was a very traumatic experience for him, and you could tell. You could tell.
What makes you emotional?
Just knowing that what he had been through and that could have ruined him, but they're resilient.
Ballet dancers perform with a combination of grace and strength, of course, and for one ballet company, these two qualities are important off the stage as well. Here's Nancy Chen.
This performance, a show of strength that leaps far beyond the stage. And the National Ballet of Ukraine says sharing these timeless classics is more urgent than ever.
You consider it a duty?
Yes, I'm a fighter of the cultural front.
We met principal dancers Tatiana Lozova and Yaroslav Takachuk as they prepared for a performance at the Kennedy Center in Washington. Their ballet company and a Ukrainian folk dance group are touring across 16 U.S. cities.
It's an honor to show and represent our theater, #1 theater in our country, and to show our culture for people abroad.
It's a stark contrast from life in Kyiv, where the married couple is raising 3 children while facing constant threats and frequent power outages. Their performances back home are limited to only a third of the theater's capacity, the number that can fit in the bomb shelter.
Have you had to stop performances because of an attack?
Many times we had to stop the whole performance and go down to hide.
A spirit of endurance, praised by Ukrainian ambassador to the U.S., Oksana Makarova.
You see the dance, which seems so easy, right? It's so elegant and so beautiful. And then you, at that moment, you know how much effort went into this and how much tragedy is behind it. That's true about all Ukraine now.
The country now settled into a new reality since Russia's invasion 2.5 years ago.
What has dance provided you personally during this time?
I can live through 100 lives. We're also kind of diving into a different cultural world to be a little bit further away from the war.
A powerful production spanning continents and cultures. Nancy Chen, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up, you may have seen this dog left abandoned ahead of Hurricane Milton, then rescued from the floodwaters. Don't worry, his story has an Uplift-worthy ending.
I got out my car, and sure enough, I look right across my front bumper, and I see his face just like sticking up, and then I kind of see water just pretty much up to his chest area, and I was like, wow.
I know you're both a dad and a dog owner. What did you think when you first got up to him?
Immediately I just thought, how could someone, like, I was kind of enraged at a certain point, like how could anybody just possibly even think of, you know, doing an act like this, and it was just awful.
As Hurricane Milton barreled toward Florida, many people evacuated for their own safety, and the story of a helpless dog left behind gained widespread national, even international attention. Well, David Begnaud has the uplifting end to that dog story.
When America first saw this abandoned dog, it's okay, up to his chest in floodwater, it's okay, he was trembling, growling, and scared.
I don't blame you.
So when yours truly was invited to be the first journalist to meet him, we started off real slow. I had been warned that this 5-year-old bull terrier seemed a little wary of men.
Hi, buddy.
Armed with treats and a lot of patience, we let him lead the way, as his foster mom, Amber Gonzalez, sat with us.
Hi.
He had only been with Amber for 4 days when we met them, but he was clearly already smitten with her.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
It was just a week ago that police say he was dumped in rising floodwater in Tampa, Florida, as Hurricane Milton barreled its way toward the state. So warming up to someone new after what he's been through was going to take some time.
That was a very traumatic experience for him, and you could tell. You could tell.
Amy Radar of the Leon County Humane Society in Tallahassee says she was contacted by the governor's office and asked to personally find a foster home for him.
They had a collar and a leash on him. I put him right into my van in a crate, took him to my house. He met a few of my dogs with him on leash, and he did fine. That evening, when I knew he was going to be okay, was that evening he got up and he was all bouncy and he gave me a tail wag.
What makes you emotional?
Just knowing that what he had been through and that could have ruined him, but they're resilient.
It was Florida Highway Patrol Trooper Orlando Morales who first rescued the dog that would later be renamed Trooper in his honor.
I got out my car, and sure enough, I look right across my front bumper, and I see his face just like sticking up, and then I kind of see water just pretty much up to his chest area, and I was like, wow.
I know you're both a dad and a dog owner. What did you think when you first got up to him?
Immediately I just thought, how could someone, like, I was kind of enraged at a certain point, like, how could anybody just possibly even think of, doing an act like this? And it was just awful.
Trooper Morales cares a lot about his new friend. So much so that he drove 4 hours from home on his day off so that we could reunite them.
You're looking good. You're looking healthy. Here you go.
Trooper was cautious, as we expected. He dropped his tail, looked reluctant. But then Amber encouraged Trooper Morales to walk him, as he had done once before. And that seemed to do it. The dog seemed to trust him yet again.
How is it to reunite with him today?
It feels awesome. I'm just glad that he's in good hands and given the care and love that he deserves.
He is just into you.
Yeah.
That did not take long.
I think dogs have a sense they know they can trust.
Foster mom Amber is a nurse who's actually treated trauma patients. So who better to care for little Trooper than her? She also has experience with his unique breed.
I recently had to put my bull terrier down in April, 14 years, and I always wanted to foster, but I just hadn't quite got there yet emotionally. So anyway, I sent an email. That was it. I sent an email and I put a picture of me with Mia, my bull terrier, and then Miss Amy, who works at the Leon County Humane Society, she reached out.
And the next thing she knew, Trooper was home with her.
You've only had him for 4 days, and look at this.
Yeah, but that's dogs. If you give them a chance, and that's the thing I love about it, is that he just wanted a chance to just be okay and be safe.
We were told that Trooper appears to bear some of the marks of his past. I mean, look at those calloused elbows. The Humane Society told us it was likely from living on hard surfaces most of his life. But no more.
Are you going to keep him?
We've made a decision. We're just going to foster.
Just going to foster, okay.
Because he's kind of opened my heart up to fostering. I'm his bridge till his forever home.
It will not be hard to find Trooper a forever home. This story has touched so many people across the country that more than 500 people have either called in or written in to say we want him. But Trooper isn't the only dog looking for a home. He has inspired the Leon County Humane Society to launch a campaign to help the 3.3 million other dogs in need of adoption find their forever homes around America. So when people head to their local shelters, they want you to say, Trooper sent me.
Thank you, Trooper. It begins with you. And so thank you for doing what you did. And thank you for loving him like your own.
I don't have a choice anymore right now,
No, you
apparently.
don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Oh, and one more thing. Before we left, this toy-obsessed boy who destroyed every toy he was given chased after a tennis ball and ran himself right through the slats of that fence.
So he went through the slats and he's stuck,
needing to be rescued yet again. If he is guilty of anything, it's this: being true to his breed. Bull Terriers are comical, they are mischievous, and at the end of the day, they are loyally loving.
Do you feel it? I do. That is our show. I hope it brightened your day. I hope it lifted you up. If for some reason it didn't, hit play again. Those reruns are still free. I'm going to find some good news.